Hey! Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. Today we're talking about the Arctic update, the hybrid update that's coming for Rust Console Edition for the Xbox, the PlayStation 5, and, well, I'd say everything in between, but guess what? The old version got shuttered. So, yeah, it's just new gen stuff, or I should just say current gen, right? Because that's more accurate. Okay, so this update not only includes the Arctic research base and everything that comes with it. Yes, we have new vehicles that come along with this as well, and this is a new monument. Also, there's a bunch of new stuff that I would call it like maybe even quality of life stuff, but they're huge, 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 as they've been in PC for a while now. And yeah, I feel kind of lost without having them, so it's so cool to see that they've got them in this update. So we're going to go ahead and cover all the little goodies here. We've got the patch notes. So if you didn't know, this is on testing staging branch to start. It sits there for a month, and then at the end of this month, November, we'll see this update hit main branch, or also known as just normal Rust. Okay, let's break it down. Let me give you a nice little view of the Arctic research base as we punch through most of this. Hopefully we don't get hit by the scientists. You know how it goes. Okay. And if you want to know how or where to play this, this is PTB. If you have access, just look in the Microsoft or PlayStation Store. It is a separate download, just so you know. Okay. Christmas. Christmas feature included. Now, the Santa supply drops. Santa's sleigh flies over the map and drops an airdrop in the form of a huge gift. And sledge, which can be sleds, excuse me, not sledge. Through loot or crafting, the event will only be available for a limited time. So I'm not really sure on the availability of it happening on community servers beyond the actual event. Arctic Research Base, that's the one we're looking at now. A new Arctic biome exclusive monument filled with various lab modules, buildings scattered across the base. Here players can unlock snowmobiles after completing a puzzle. Snowmobile. Located within the Arctic base, snowmobiles are a new mode of transportation that is fast on snow, sand, and the beaches, and slow everywhere else. You can ride them like up on the shoreline. Polar bears. Yeah, see, like a lot of these were added. It's like polar bears were added with the Arctic base, but you see some other stuff here that was like added a long time ago, or like mixes of like updates. So it's really cool that we have these because you'll see. Polar bears, the strongest and most hostile animal in the world. Polar bears will only spawn in the Arctic biome. It yields extra resources when harvested compared to regular bears. And here's a big one. This is good for like progression and just like soloing, or metal detector allows players to find metal objects hidden beneath the ground. It's like a mini game that comes along with it. So super cool. This is a big one too. Then this also includes all the other things too. So like electricity, but also the industrial stuff, or it should. Enable rotation rotation changes before deployment of certain deployables. Well, that's a crazy sentence. Includes electrical branch, splitter, button, blocker, root combiner, HBF sensor, audio alarm, random switch, siren alarm, flasher, laser detector, pressure pad, Tesla coil, sprinklers, and igniter. This is a big one too. I/O indicators. Input and output arrows have been added to devices with input and output ports, making it visually clearer which direction water, electricity, industrial item is flowing. So check this out. And I might be jumping the gun here, but I'm going to show you the other stuff too. So here, so when you have your tool out, you can actually see, or no, is it placement? So we can rotate. I'm not sure what the button is yet. We're going to do this over on the PTB, yes. But that's really nice. So like obviously the splitter only goes up or down. And then we've got, here we go. Here's a branch is a good one. Let me just bring this in. I have a huge stack here. So yeah, nice, right? You can even flip it if you want to. Really nice. So here's a big one too, and they were talking about this. So normally, isn't it annoying like when you do this, you go up inside your base and you go, oh man, I gotta like do something real fast. So like, let's say you had this connected to here, and then you're like, oh, I have this one up here, but I need to like connect something else real fast, but you have this like connected through your base. You can switch. That tool, it still holds that position completely. And so now I can switch back to this one. You see how it's already lit up? It remembers per tool. Pretty sick, right? Yeah. If you've done any kind of electricity, you know how amazing that is. It really is. So it should be the same thing for the industrial tool as well. We're going to go through and test a lot of these things over on PTB. So if you're out there wondering why the console servers or whatever game you're playing has low population right now, don't worry, it's not the game, it's just Arc Raiders. It's taking over everything. Okay, the Halloween event just came up and scared me, absolutely. Whew. Okay, so yeah, nothing to worry about. Rust isn't going anywhere. It hasn't for the last 12 years on PC. It's definitely not going anywhere for console. So don't sweat it. If anything, give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a nice change up. Okay, I/O tool improvement. Switching between tools, we just showed that. Continues the previous tool's wire pipe placement. So yes, it works with the industrial stuff. Here's the other one too. Planner quick confirm. I'm not really sure what that means. So is this snapping? A or the X button to confirm a building option to lock it into place before releasing. Monument zone areas. I can show you this. So you can see this red line now. When I have my blueprints out, you can actually see the no build zone, which I think helps a lot. There is still a no build zone around tracks and roads. Yes, I said tracks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you know, you know. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and link that video now in the upper right-hand corner. And also on the end screen at the end of this video. So, yeah, be sure to check that out. All right, so let's go back over here. All right, so the no build zones. Tool visual update. The eye will appear alongside the typical tooltips. It's just like a UI change. Item owner names. Items show the name of the player who created the item and how it was made. Only unstackable items support ownership. It says it can only be one single owner per item. Deployable snapping. There we go. Deployables can now be snapped into place, making a loot room so much easier now that we have barrels. Hello. Deployables can now be snapped into place when players are ready to place an object. Available in two options, simple and advanced, which can be changed in the settings. LT to snap the deployable guide. Oil rig update. This is a big one. Again, these came from a lot of other updates, so I think it's really cool. These are all getting piled on top of this one. So this is a good one, especially if you're like a smaller group or solo. Oil rig update. Low but consistent radiation will now appear on the oil rig after the hatch crate is unlocked to stop camping, forcing players to leave the oil rig after the event is over. You know how like the big teams would sit there, do it, and just sit there, and then if you came up as like a small solo or something, and then you just got slept because they all full metal kits. The reset time for the oil rig, and this is also another adjustment. Oil rig has been increased from 30 minutes to 1 hour because people just kept doing it too fast. And also expect this change. I don't see it in this update, or maybe they sneak it in later. Diesel will soon be locked under puzzles. With better placement descriptions, updated many placement errors to be more descriptive on the issue blocking placements, such as other players, objects in the way. I wonder if this is going to be like a building update, because we have this weird hybrid build version that's not quite up to speed with Steam, so we're going to have to really test that live on stream. Launch site updates. Scientists have been added to launch site, improving lighting and adding fixes to launch site windows. Hopefully people won't be able to slide through those. All right, gameplay. Chainsaws now start on the first try, which matches the Steam version. I wonder if there's no more random starts. It was like 30, 60% or something like that. Look how my frames are so bad when I'm on a different window. Yikes. I think because Discord is on a accelerated window as well. Weird. Discord's becoming bloatware. Am I wrong? Hackable crates will now no longer show on the map after the first item has been looted, so also stopping people from kind of griefing and bigger groups abusing the smaller guys and luring them in. Fixed a bug where oil rig doors would close early and not be able to be opened. Updated the too hot status, thank goodness. So it now deals damage when above 60 degrees centigrade. That's the Queen's math. I don't know what that is. Fahrenheit, guys. Freedom units. What's up? I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Most of the world uses Celsius. I just don't know what it is. I fixed a bug where players will get stuck when landing over the row houses at the outpost from an air vehicle. Salvage shelves can now be picked up with a hammer when no items are on the shelves. That's awesome. Grouch, I'm looking at you. Visual. When players are mounted on a magnet crane, the surrounding environment no longer jitters. Yay! Dropbox lights now match the Steam version. Throwable tools and weapons now have the correct spinning animation. Fixed an issue where the pistol chamber would not slide open, indicating when it is empty. Hollow sight reticle no longer disappears when it's being aimed at an area with smoke. Steam now shows correctly on the water purifier pipes when the water is boiling. Fix the visual effects on the cooker in the underwater labs. Flame visual effects in the hot air balloon no longer clips through the tube. A UI updated the icons in the pie menus to have unified icon positions. Yeah, between the Steam and the console version, our rooftops, the triangle and the standard rooftop, are flip-flopped. And I'm hoping that they bring that back to the right position, because for people that go back and forth, it's awfully confusing. Kind of like the Control and Alt button between Mac and PC. If you know, you know. The button for leaving queue or leaving server now uses the hold button instead of press. Thank goodness if you drop your controller and you're like a long wait queue, it doesn't drop you out. Ugh. Thank goodness. Added several game tips when trying to place deployables on invalid positions placements. Fixed an issue where player marker remains visible on the map after toggling it to be hidden. Removed the incorrect toggle flares on the motorbike and modular vehicles. The oil refinery at the dome now correctly says small refinery. Text will no longer shrink when pressing the trade button on the trading menu, and quality information is now on the highlighted engine parts, which is good because that was not there before. Okay, so this update's fixing to be a big one. I know it's kind of overshadowed by like one of the larger releases we've had in like the last 2 decades. Yes, I'm talking about Arc Raiders is a phenomenon. Again, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But still, we got a lot of cool stuff cooking here on Rust, so be sure to check that out as well. And yeah, between these new vehicles, all the new updates that we've had between helicopters, the road vehicles, things are going at a very good clip, which is fantastic to see for Rust Console Edition. And now that we're on this new system, they've dropped the old generation, and we're on a monthly rotation cycle, we're really closely watching what's happening over on PC. So things to look out for. The scrap system's getting another change. The naval addition to the PC has been delayed until December, but again, all things that are going to be in our future. The jungle biome, which has already been added to the PC version, is also going to be wild for us. Dare I say, maybe the best update for solos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We've got new vehicles, new monuments, so be sure to check it out. And up on the end screen there, and hopefully we'll see you in the next live stream / video. Love you, bye.